Those of you that are watching this video, you may have already heard me comment on the murder of a black 42-year-old man in North Carolina on the 21st of April last month, 2021, by the name of Andrew Brown Jr. Allegedly, uh, the sheriff's department was engaged in um, carrying out a search and arrest warrant for Andrew Brown Jr. on this date. And they arrived at his home. I did say search and arrest warrant. So they arrived at his home. Initially, the judge, as it pertains to this particular case, was not willing to release any video footage of the shooting of this man by deputies, which was fatal. It killed him. And this went on for a period of time. And then through media sources, it was stated that the judge reserves the right to release part of the video or even none of it if he or she so desired. But eventually, the family was allowed to see 20 seconds of the video, and then later on 16 minutes or more to see better what occurred upon those officers arriving at Mr. Brown's home. Now, there's been controversy, if you want to call it that, controversy, as to whether or not it was a lawful shooting and killing by the police. Here recently, District Attorney Andrew Womble made a press statement that the officers did shoot and kill Mr. Brown lawfully because he was trying to use his vehicle to harm them. Upon me observing the new video footage, it's new to me, when they arrived and got out of their vehicles and shouting commands at him and so forth, I didn't see that. I see what his family saw. I see what many other people saw, and I see what Andrew Brown Jr.'s family attorneys saw. I saw the man trying to escape, get away from a bunch of other men, white men, with assault type weapons and handguns. That's what I saw. Now, if you're pointing rifles, semi-automatic weapons at me in a vehicle, I don't know if I want to leave this world that fast and take my chances with you pointing these weapons at me, and there's several of you making these demands and or commands towards me. I would think that if I want to preserve my own life, I wouldn't sit there and be shot, especially in light of what white police officers have historically done to black men and women over the past several decades. Just to keep it 100%, for hundreds of years. Murdered us. So who wants to sit and be killed? And that's not my rationalization of it. That's just what I see. So a shot rings out. He tries to escape the situation by backing away. And then he wants to pull off, so he's trying to leave the situation so he doesn't get murdered. But we all know that he was murdered. Even the local forensic expert said that it was death by homicide. He was killed, murdered, not accidental. Now, first of all, why do you arrive at a person's home armed to the T with these types of weapons, standing on the back of a vehicle? It looks like a lynch mob, if you're really honest. You didn't pull up professionally in regular police or sheriff vehicles. These guys are standing lockstep on the back of a vehicle, pulling up, jumping out with the weapons, pointing at this vehicle where this man is sitting in, shouting commands. I would be afraid too, for my life. So again, Mr. Brown tries to leave the scene. It's all right to run if someone's trying to kill you. Let me just make that perfectly clear. Because black folks don't trust white cops in the first place because they've been murdering us for so long. So why should we trust you? Now, it is said that he was supposed to have been dealing drugs and what have you. He must have not been that bad of a drug dealer or a risk if he was at his home and you knew where he lived, where he resided. So if he was that bad of a so-called criminal, unquote, why was he at his home where he knew that you could find him? That doesn't make sense to me. So if I'm really trying to evade you and get away from you, I wouldn't be in the most conspicuous and the most obvious place where you can come and get me. But they came to his home, and he happened to be home. He wasn't barricaded in the house, wasn't set up with sandbags and semi-automatic weapon or machine gun or anything waiting on you to get there. He was going on about his daily whatever, routine. And then when you pull up in a vehicle with all of these guys with Kevlar helmets on and so forth and all of these weapons, jumping, storming out of the vehicle, shouting at him while he's in his car. And then he, after a shot rings out, he backs away. I don't want to get shot. And I pull away, and as I'm trying to pull away to get away from this situation, you open fire. And then one cop says, motherfucker. Excuse my expression. That's not me. That's what he said. It's in the video. He said, motherfucker. Why did he say that? I mean, you are a professional. Why did you say that? Did he threaten you? In any way? Did it look at all like he was trying to actually run you down? Not at all. You encroached around his vehicle as you got out of yours. And he's trying to simply get away. And if you were standing in front of the vehicle, why? Why did it take so many of you for simply an arrest warrant, a search warrant, whatever happened to just coming to someone's home, being prepared? I'm not saying be stupid or an idiot as a cop or law enforcement, but all of the hoopla, all of the excitement that you brought to him, could he have possibly been brought in alive had you come a different way? Why does he have to die? Hello? Was he a threat to you? How much of a threat was he to you? If you perceived him to be a threat, then why was he at home? Really? So, this is going to be a difficult one in the court system. You have this DA, Andrew Womble. He makes the statement in the video. Anytime someone takes a vehicle, an automobile, and tries to harm an officer, he doesn't care if it's moving forward or backwards or sideways or even sitting still. It justifies them using lethal force. So what they are going to have to do is prove what his intent was with his vehicle, if it was indeed to preserve his own life or to harm them. I think anyone who has any type of common sense and sound judgment can watch that video and decipher it in just a matter of seconds, as the video was just simply seconds, and tell that he was trying to escape. He wasn't trying to run anybody down. He wasn't. He was trying to get away. And he didn't get away. He was murdered. This stuff is getting old. And he's not the only black individual who has been unlawfully murdered by white cops over the past several months and even years. Unlawfully. I didn't say legally, because that's not a term that God, the creator, the Most High, even acknowledges. That legal thing, that's something made up by man. I'm talking about lawfully, within the law. And all laws should be predicated on God's law to begin with. But man has a tendency to make up things and call them laws, when in fact they're really not laws. They are de facto, not real, just giving the appearance of being law to justify their wrongdoing. But anyway, this is Brother Teacher. Let me know what you think about this Andrew Brown Jr. murder. I won't just simply say killing. It was a murder. They killed that man. They did. That was it. And that was all. Please leave your comments in the section below, comment section. Like and subscribe and share this video and all of my videos that you enjoy and that you learn and benefit from. And please, to help my channel continue to remain here on this platform and to grow, give a donation if you like. That information will be found below as well. Much love to you. Yahweh loves you always, and I do. Take care.